Hello, everyone, and welcome to Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I am Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, here with you as it is well into August now, August 4th by the calendar as I see. And that means schools will be starting up and football camps are already just about to get underway. And that means we are just about a month away from football in Western Oklahoma, the greatest time of year. I don't care what anybody says. And we sure appreciate all of our coaches in Western Oklahoma joining us for interviews. But right now, I tell you, one coach that I kind of feel a kindred spirit with, because he started at a little bit of feedback there. He started at Sayre about the same time I started at Wright Media, and he's Coach Craig Hixon of the Sayre Eagles. And Coach, you're going into your fourth season, and I know your Eagles are really excited, and you guys feel like you got a lot of weaponry at your disposal to get things going for a big playoff run.
We are real excited. Even the whole town's excited. There's been a little success, and this is the first group of kids that I've coached all the way through high school. They know our system. I mean, I think they know it good enough. They probably dream about it, but we have this is our largest group we've had. We have 41 that have signed up since spring football. I hope all 41 of them come out next week. But everybody's excited.
Yeah. Just so somebody tuning in that maybe is not totally clear on your background, you have coached in 8-man football. You've coached in Class 4A football. You've quite the coaching resume. You come to Sayre, and like we'd said, it was kind of a time where they were having trouble getting numbers out. There was no set system per se, but you've come in and really implemented a lot of stability.
Yeah, I think my wife and I were trying to add it up yesterday. Actually, I think this is going to be my 27th or 28th year of coaching. I've stayed on I-35 West is where I've been most of my career, but grew up in Western Oklahoma, it's Northwest Oklahoma, but wasn't really looking for this job. That's the funny part about it is it just kind of opened up, and my wife and I talked about it, 3 years ago, and it was we knew that it was in the area. We wanted to be kind of around Elk City, be around our grandkids, and be around. There was 3 of our 4 kids lived in this area, and so it just seemed like a good spot. And sure enough, it opened it up, and God put us in the right spot.
Well, and I sure had a lot of fun, kind of running stories about the Beckham County brawl, I guess you could call it.
Beckham County brawl. That's what we've started to name it.
Yeah, and your son Cale, who was offensive coordinator for a time at Merritt, and that was the primary rival there in Beckham County, and a lot of fun, I'm sure, was had with that.
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, he's known my system because he grew up in it. He coached with me for 4 years, and then he's kind of gone off and done his own thing. But even our wives wouldn't let us talk to each other on the week of the game after Sunday night, so we had to shut it down until game night. So it was pretty fun. It was a good time, and the best part about it was win or loss. We hug at midfield and tell each other we love each other, and we're proud of each other. So it's a great feeling.
For sure. I tell you, it's been, a progression at Sayre, and the signs have been there. Really, I don't know. I'm getting some sort of weird feedback in my ear. I don't know if that's coming through on yours. Let me see.
I'm not getting anything, but it is cutting in and out every now and then on your video.
Okay. But anyway, so you come in and you start to implement your system. It's been a progress. It's been a process. But last year, the OSSAA kind of pulls one in a way and moves Sayre and Merritt and Hinton and Watonga into the Class A Division I. you guys are kind of barreling towards a potential playoff spot, and then had a little rough patch there at the end. Talk about what last season meant for your program.
Yeah, well, we started off really, really strong, and this is part of Class A football is not having several backups in key positions that you need, and we had a couple major injuries that and those are all two-way players, and so when you lose two or three two-way players, that's 4 to 6 guys, four to 6 positions, and it's just hard to fill those. And we fought to the end, and I was proud of them. I mean, we gave it all we had, and just couldn't push through. But the goal is still there, and the goal is to make the playoffs, and we're still talking about it, and there's still excitement about it from the kids. I mean, they really, really want it, and they want to earn it.
Yeah. Well, and 5-5 was the best record you'd had at your time at Sayre, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to pull off a 500 record in that district where you were dealing with Hooker and Caston and Fairview, I mean, that's a tall heap for anybody.
Yeah, those are all quality teams, quality programs that have a lot of good history, and we're trying to build our history and legacy right now. So we'll get there, and I feel like we are inching our way that direction.
For sure. And and as we mentioned, even when it wasn't split in Class A, you still had Hooker and Fairview in your district. So it wasn't like it was something new. But you mentioned the injuries, Coach, and one of the things I was impressed with going back to hold on just a second, I want to try something. One of the things I was impressed with going back to the time when you first started was it seemed like you definitely came in and realized that there had to be some emphasis on powerlifting within your football program.
Yes, that was one of the very first things we talked about during the hiring process was developing a strength program, and so they've allowed me to run. I think I run 4 class periods. We get about 70% of our athletes, and that's all athletes through the program, and then we put an emphasis on the off-season kids that aren't in basketball to get into powerlifting, and that kind of took off. And every year we've had several qualify for state. I think we took 29 to regionals last year from 7th grade to 12th grade, and so it's a kids are interested in it. It's helping. It's really we've seen the progress and the gains and the benefits of being in the weight room year round.
Yeah. And that's such a big thing. And I know that, at Sayre, you guys have a lot of support from the school and the community to do what you need to do. So people know, and we're going into this, and you've had variations, and you'd mentioned that when you implement your system, which is a running system based on wing T principles, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, we're a double wing team. I've been running it since 2008, and just fell in love with it because it changes the mentality of the kids. It gives them a little bit of swagger, gives them a little bit of confidence, and they feel like they can go against anybody. And it also helps us stay in the game and not just get blown out. We're controlling the clock. The clock's always running, and so even on those tough losses, it's we're making it a game out of it, and we're putting points on the board, and we haven't been shut out. It's really, like I said, it's changed the mentality of the kids where they feel like they can step off the bus and spot the ball. Let's go.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's a fun offense to watch. And a lot of, when I sit and watch it, I'm like, well, that's pretty good deception there. You've had some good backs that have ran back there. One in particular, I remember calling a game for, filling in for Max Patton on Sayre Eagle TV, was Aiden Hendershot. But this season, a lot of notoriety kind of being surrounded. At least I got my Vipe pigskin preview over the weekend, and senior Dustin McSorley is getting some notice and some mention throughout in the preseason prognostications, and also kind of picked all Vipe or definitely he was picked all Vipe for the Class A Division I class. So I'm guessing a lot revolves around him.
Yeah, Dustin's a heck of a player. He's been a starter since his freshman year, been a two-way starter since his freshman year. We have a kind of a single wing quarterback run package with him. We also keep him in the backfield in our regular double wing, and he's just a playmaker. I mean, the guy's super strong. I mean, that he was one of the kids that got hurt last year, and that kind of put I think at that point we were 5-2, and he got hurt, and it just kind of hurt our offense quite a bit. Hurt our defense also. But he is one heck of a player, and we're excited. He's a junior, so we're going to have him for 2 more years. Yeah.
Well, blame Vipe. I was going by what they put in there. I didn't have your roster from last season, but and then also you've got some weaponry at your disposal. I know what I've seen. Well, I'll have you talk about your offense, but some players like Cam Plummer and Jaden Moser, and then obviously Braden Mossberg, who is a big target.
Braden's come along quite a bit. We've kind of really spent a lot of time in the offseason trying to figure out ways to get the ball in his hands. And one of the things we're trying, and we worked it at camp pretty good, was if we're not going to throw the ball very often, but let's see if we can figure out a way to get him the ball in a run situation. And it worked out really good for us. We've also got Tate Bodden, who is kind of the other tight end. Between the two of them, they both have great hands. They're both big threats to go get those balls, because like I said, we don't throw very often, but when we do, it needs to be a big play. And those guys have really stepped up and helped us, because you get those defenses that creep up on you, and they're just bound and determined to stop that run game. And I call it like a covey of quail. Those 4 receivers just burst.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the defense is playing catch up. And so when we do throw the ball, we need to make big plays and at least keep them honest. And those guys have really helped us a lot. Jaden Moser is kind of our, what we call the Z back. He's the right wing. He's kind of the home run guy. We ground and pound, and then when we give him the ball, it's on a counter or a reverse or something that's a little misdirection and tricky. And he's just got enough speed. He can turn those into big plays. And he was our second leading rusher last year.
Oh yeah. And I just listening to Max call the games, the names are familiar for me in ways, and with football, with me calling Weatherford football and not doing the sports highlights anymore for right radio. Some have escaped me, but talk about your offensive line. That's kind of where it all begins in your system. Somebody's got to make a hole for you. Who are you going to rely on this season to do just that?
Well, it's going to start. We have 3 seniors this year that have been a big part of this. Alex Chavez is where it all starts. He's our center. He's about 280 pounds, 6'2". I mean, he's a really big force to deal with. And Nevin Bailey and Tristan Easter. Gosh, I went blank for a second. Nevin Bailey and Tristan Easter. Yeah, Nevin Bailey and Tristan Easter are both guard and tackle. And been a big part of our run game, and they've all worked in the weight room. Tristan actually plays basketball also, and so I think that's helped with his footwork quite a bit. It's helped him be a little more mobile and agile, but those 3 guys are kind of the anchor of our offense. And then I got a freshman coming in. Got a couple freshmen coming in that I think are going to get some playing time. One is Kason Hagerman, and the other one's Billy Bridge. Both of those guys have spent some time with us and went to team camp, and are good sized bodies. They work in the weight room quite a bit, and they are just itching to get on the field. So yeah, we gotta this year. I feel like we actually have some depth at our offensive line, and I'm not worried that anybody gets hurt. I think everybody's stayed healthy, and the competitive spirit's really strong with them.
Well, and to flip things over, obviously, an offensive line in Class A is going to participate quite a bit in the defensive line as well. So, talk about those players that will kind of be playing both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, all those guys that I just talked about are all inside run or inside defensive linemen, nose guards and defensive tackles. And we like to keep them fresh. So we have a 2-play rotation. We just keep guys moving in and out and give them a break because on offense they don't get any breaks. I mean, we're chewing up the clock and moving down the field, but defensively we let them go as hard as they can go for 2 plays, and then they come off, get a drink, and another guy's in there. And the great thing about these guys is we don't lose anything with the rotation. We don't lose any talent. We don't lose any speed or strength. I mean, they're all equal across the board, and they all are pretty aggressive. So it's really nice to have that as a coach.
And then also on the front seven, you'll have some linebackers that will play both ways. I know, with McSorley, like you mentioned, he's a 2-hitter. But who are some other players that will kind of contribute from either a defensive end spot or a linebacker play?
Our linebackers are pretty solid. Corey Capehart, he's going to be a 2-way player. He's going to run the ball on offense, be our kind of our power backs, what we call it, and he's also going to play. We kind of bouncing back and forth between inside linebacker and outside linebacker. Zeke Curtis, he's a senior, going to be his 4th year as a starter as a linebacker, and he played on the line his freshman year, but he's been a fullback ever since. He makes the calls. He huddles everybody up. He's kind of the quarterback of the defense, and he's been a really great asset for us because, like I said, it's 4 years of him. We're going to miss these guys after this season, so it's important for us to get in that playoff run. But Dustin, of course, is the other one, and then our last one, we kind of have a surprise this spring. Carter Brewer, who has been a 4-year player for us and kind of been special teams and that's about all, limited time on the field, stuff like that. He has really stepped in, just worked his tail off in the weight room. He's gotten faster, stronger, and we've got him penciled in for that other outside linebacker right now, and he is doing a great job for us.
That's outstanding. And then on the back end in your secondary.
Well, we've kind of played around with in our defense it's a 4-4 with 3 defensive backs, and so we've got some threats. The big surprise for us in the spring was Ethan Garrison has came back. He didn't play his junior year. He came back, and he is just really, solidified his spot as a corner. And then Cam Plummer is he's been a corner the last couple of years. Cam's that corner we can put him on the, what we would say the strong side, and he's going to come up and hit you. He's a great tackler in the open field, can defend the deep ball. And then I said earlier, Tate Bodden played a little bit outside linebacker for us last year, but we're putting him at safety this year because we just think he can play all over the field. And we joke with him that he's played about 6 positions on defense since he moved here, and so we're just he's one of those kids. We got to put our best 11 on the field, and so he's one of our best 11. We got to find a spot for him, and safety's kind of been that for him.
Yeah. We're visiting with head coach of the Sayre Eagles football team, Craig Hixon, entering into his 4th season with the Eagles and looking to make some noise in District 1 of Class A Division 1. And Coach, you start out August 29th, week 0. You'll be on the road to Cordell. I know that it's easy to come away from a game this last several years against Cordell with maybe a a mixed bag of what you have, but then you go to Thomas the week after that, and I think you'll know a lot about your team after making a trip up to Terrier Nation.
Yeah, Cordell's been one of those rivals, I guess, with Sayre, is what I've been told, for 100 years, and the kids still get excited about it. The town gets excited about it. Parents and grandparents still talk about it and remember it, and they write all over the windows downtown about beating Cordell, and
There you go.
it doesn't matter. It's kind of like that Red River rivalry, where it doesn't matter who's doing good or bad that season. It's still going to be a heck of a game. But yeah, we got in touch with Thomas a couple of years ago and told him we wanted to keep him on the schedule because we want to be challenged. We want to be play teams that are coached well and have tradition, so we can kind of measure ourselves and then kind of have an idea going into district what we're looking at.
Definitely. And I know with districts, and you'll have another non-district game against Carnegie. They're a team that is trying to get back to some of their former play, and Coach Watson working hard down there. But then you make the trip to Hooker to start district play. That'll be on September 26th, and then it's just a gauntlet from that point out.
It really is. To me, the best part about the way our schedule is set up is we don't have to play those top three teams, Hooker, Cashion, and Fairview. We don't have to play any of them back to back. We kind of get a break so we can, I guess, lick our wounds and heal up. But it's worked out good for us just off the schedule side of it. But yeah, that's one where we've got our sights on, is Hooker. We knew they graduated a lot of kids. They've lost their coach. We're hoping they're a little bit down, because last year when we played them the second half, they played what I think will be their backups this year, I hope. And we did decent and held our own against them. So that'll be an exciting start for our district.
Definitely. And as you brought up, quite a bit of coaching turnover in your district, and that's District 1 of Class A Division 1, with Tonga, Merritt, and Hinton all breaking in new coaches. Coach Richardson had been at Merritt for a while. Coach Potter had been at Hinton for a while. Watonga's kind of been in flux, but you're kind of the staple in districts now. You've got 4 years on your belt at Sayre, and other than Cashion, you might be senior guy.
It's amazing to me the amount of turnover, but that is what it is with our job. Sometimes it's one and done, and sometimes people make a career out of it. My wife flat told me this is the last move I'm allowed to make, so I'm going to be here for a while.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned your son, who was the offensive coordinator at Merritt for a while. Where did he go to Cashion or to Crescent?
Crescent. And I grew up in Crescent. Our family farms there, so it was a good move. He's right down the road from Grandma's house, and so there's family there to help with the kids and stuff like that. And we still get to play each other in districts. It's unfortunate he has to wear that orange color all the time, but one of these days he might move somewhere where he doesn't have to wear orange.
The maroon and or burgundy is definitely top flight in my book, and that would be the Sayre Eagle burgundy. And so I was out at Sayre about 2-3 weeks ago playing in the Sports Association Scramble with Max Patton. And I sense that a lot of people are really excited in the community for the upcoming season of Sayre Eagle Sports. Talk about the hunger level of your team, and then also kind of the backers and community behind you.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the community in school, town, team, everybody's excited about it. We kind of budget over the last couple of years going to team camps and hotel rooms and stuff like that. And this year, our budget was a little low, because we're used to taking about 20 to 25 kids to camp and stuff like that. This year we went and we had 42 kids plus a couple junior high boys that helped be managers, and then 5 coaches. So we were looking at a really high hotel bill and food expenses and things like that. Reached out to the community. The community helped. Most businesses pitched in something and helped raise our funds, and we were able to have a really good camp with these kids. So the community's hungry for some success, and I think our kids are. I think they've seen the turnaround a little bit. They know, we're going to go out there and we're going to play a good, our best game. We're not going to have a lot of penalties. We're not going to be unsportsmanlike. We're going to play good, solid football and do our best to win. And you can tell the turnaround, and the community is there, and they're excited.
Well, and I would say to anyone who wants to tune in and catch some old-fashioned smash mouth football with a little bit of option here and there, and then some veer to it and things like that, tune in to Sayre Eagles TV on Right.media and catch the Sayre Eagles. It's a lot of fun to watch the system, and honestly, as a play-by-play, the year. I think it was the 2022 season. I filled in for Max when you guys traveled to Sayre. And I'm pretty certain Aiden Hendershot carried the ball 40 times that game and ended up with 319 yards. And I'll be honest, that might have been when I realized the strain on my eyes to see at distance was for real.
he was a beast. He was hard to take down, and he was one of those guys that I think he got better and better as the game progressed. So the more we gave him the ball, the harder he was to tackle. So yeah, we really do miss him. But like I said, we got some big backs that are going to take his place this year. So we're excited about that. And I tell them all the time, you guys got to be prepared for 25 carries a game. And with 4 backs in the backfield, everybody's going to get a chance to touch the ball. So
that's right. And Coach, I mean, I know as school's about to start and your season is really getting close to kickoff, what was it how'd you spend your summer? Did you get a little bit of relaxation time, maybe some time with the grandkids?
Yeah, my son has moved, and so I spent the last couple of weeks going down there and helping him work on his house and get it ready. Also getting to see the granddaughters there. But most of the time we've stayed home and ran the weight room. Went to a couple team camps, but this has been a pretty slow summer for us. So it's been nice to feel like we're kind of settled in and not having to lay tile in our bathroom or something like that building a
Oh,
house. So
man. When in doubt, hire it out. That's my policy. Oh, anyways, well, he's head coach Craig Hixon of the Sayre Eagles, and they are ready to get their 2025 campaign going. They begin August 29th at Cordell against the Blue Devils in that rivalry game. And as I mentioned, Cordell is seemingly having some struggles as of late, breaking in another coach. I think he's maybe in his first year. I'm not for certain, but it is it's always fun to see teams get started, and then there'll be that big one. I was hoping, Coach, that your Thomas trip was going to be week 0, because that would have meant I would have been free to just drive down the street here and catch the Sayre Eagles in a big one against the Thomas Terriers.
Yeah, they're actually week 1, their second game of the year. But yeah, that's a good game we got circled on the calendar. That's going to be a big test for us.
Definitely. And you'll get to see how your secondary reacts as well, and get some pressure on the quarterback and work on that. But another big season coming up for the Sayre Eagles, and he is head coach Craig Hixon, and we appreciate him joining me here. Coach, best of luck this season, and hope you have a very successful run in Class A Division I, District 1.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And we appreciate Coach joining us. And this has been Western Oklahoma Sports Night. My apologies for any sort of sound technical issues. We had some sort of weird feedback. I tried to mediate that as best I could. But, Coach, you sounded great going through. So we'll just use your audio and skip my questions. So, anyways, but thank you to Coach Craig Hixon for joining me here. Be sure and follow us on social media at Lawdog Sports on Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. And then also follow our YouTube channel where this video will be uploaded at Lawdog Sports on YouTube. And you can find all those links on our website at Lawdog Sports. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. And we'll talk to you real soon.